is to address transit inequity and move forward on making the TTC and public transit affordable for all is for the TTC's capital budget and the TTC's operating budget to be fairly funded. That would stop the breakdowns and delays. It would give us more reliable and fast service, particularly in the outer suburbs, and it would allow us to pay for the fare reductions that came out in this report so that everyone in the city can afford to ride the TTC. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bell. Are there questions? I just have one, because it's been mentioned a number of times, and you mentioned it as well. First of all, you're aware of the fact that the request that's been made of these organizations is to look for 2% inefficiencies, not to reduce their budget by 2%. You're aware of that's the request?
I'm absolutely aware of that. What I don't understand is that if you're cutting the TTC's budget by 2%, we're definitely not going to be getting...
Let me stop you, because again, you said you understood, but now what you just said indicates you don't. Or you may not, which is that the request that was made was not to cut the TTC's budget by 2%, but to identify 2% inefficiencies. It could be the budget could still go up by 10%, but you found 2% inefficiencies. You understand the distinction?
I do, but often efficiency is used as a euphemism for cut. And what we think is that the TTC's budget actually needs to be increased significantly to actually provide the service that we need. Like, we had the subway break down for what? Monday morning rush hour. We have breakdowns and delays all the time, and we have people time and time again who talk about how they can't afford to get on the TTC. We do not need efficiencies. We need a big increase in service and a more affordable fares.
So if one was looking to find money to pay for those big increases in services, do you think it's possible that in a billion-dollar-plus organization like the TTC you could find 2% of areas where they're not spending money very efficiently at present?
Well, Rob Ford certainly had a lot of difficulty doing it, and he was looking very, very hard, A. And B, the TTC's operating budget, the amount of government support per ride they get, is already the lowest in North America. It is already an extremely efficient organisation. I do think that it would make more sense to look at how we can increase service and really focus the conversation on that, and also how to make fares more affordable. I think that would be a smarter thing to do.
Okay, Councillor Pasternak has a question.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Would you consider, if the TTC went out to multiple bids for streetcars rather than sole source, would that be an efficiency and it saved money? Would that be an efficiency or a cut?
I'd have to see the details.
I don't think there's any details to look at. If we went out to an open RFP on a rolling stock on our streetcars and subway trains rather than sole source, and we saved, let's say, $50 to $100 million, would that be a cut or an efficiency?
It would depend. I mean, when we look at the Ontario Auditor General's report on the cost